Hey friends, it's Charles Warger. Now I had some videos on Joyce Meyer that I made, a few weeks ago, and the questions that I had, I've asked the YouTube page where Joyce Meyer releases videos. Her staff will go and they'll talk to several people that leave comments. I have left comments, and for some reason her staff ignores me. Won't answer obvious questions. I've asked, does Joyce still believe in the little gods heresy? Well, they won't answer that. So anyway, I made a video and I was very honest. I called Joyce out for things that she said. And I want to tell you that I was told by several people that Joyce Meyer, she renounced her teaching, that she renounced her error, that she's no longer a heretic. Now keep in mind that she was a prosperity gospel, health and wealth gospel teacher. She believed in the little gods theology. Joyce Meyer also believed that you could go pretty long stretches of time, I'm not sure about how long, but she wasn't clear about this, but about humans not sinning, the ability to live and not sin. That was a little iffy. She sounded like, well, if you can go a long time without sinning, then why Jesus died on the cross for us? So I'm not really sure what she's on that. But then her doctrine of salvation, she said that Jesus Christ had to actually go to hell. See, Jesus on the cross, he said, "It is finished." Now when Jesus said, "It is finished" on the cross, it was finished. Our debt had been paid. But see, Joyce doesn't believe that. She believes that Jesus had to die, and he went to hell, he had to be tormented by the devil in hell. And that's how he paid our debt. And then Jesus Christ became the first born again being. Well friends, if you believe in the Trinity, or if you even believe in the Lordship of Jesus Christ, which if you believe in the Bible, you should believe in the Lordship of Jesus Christ, how can God become the first born again being? Makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. The reasoning behind... Okay, so I was told that Joyce Meyer renounced her heresies. So look, there's only one, and I've asked people, please tell me where she renounced it. Please point it to me. Point it to me. No one pointed to me any document or any speech where she recanted anything. This is all I got from a YouTube search. Now there's quite a few videos, but this is the speech that people say that she renounced. Let's listen to this and see if she really did renounce anything. Let's listen to this with an open mind.
God gives you that you need to use and release in your life. It's a powerful force.
She's talking about faith.
But it's not just an automatic. You put your trust in God. You put your faith in Him. I'm glad for what I learned about prosperity, but it got out of balance. I'm glad for what I learned about faith, but it got out of balance. And so every time somebody had a problem in their life, it was because they didn't have enough faith. If you got sick, you didn't have enough faith. If your child died, you didn't have enough faith. Well, that's not right. You can't. There's nowhere in the Bible where we're promised that we'll never have any trouble. I don't care how much faith you've got, you're not going to avoid ever having trouble in your life. Jesus said, in the world there will be tribulation. Cheer up, I have overcome the world.
Okay. So that is the apology that people refer to. And my question is this. Now I pressed the wrong button here, so bear with me for a second, please. Okay. I'll just close that. So, I guess my question is this then. Is that an apology? Joyce, she never said I'm sorry. She never said I'm wrong. She never actually used the word apology. She never said I recant or I renounce. No. She said I'm happy, you know, something like, I'm glad what I learned about faith, but I got out of balance. I'm glad what I learned about prosperity, but I got out of balance. Is that renouncing anything? That's saying that you were a little out of balance. Is that a renouncement? Is that an apology? No. How in the world would that function as an apology? Okay, this is a test. If Joyce Meyer, okay, and then she went and she said, just because something bad happens to you doesn't mean that's because of your faith. Well, that's obvious. But that's a pretty obvious thing, but, you know, it actually took her that long to find out. People were listening to her, and she was that wrong. Anyway, it seems like she finally came around and she realized that just because something bad happens to you doesn't mean that your faith in God was wrong. Well, it's scary that is she alluding that she once believed that if something bad happened to you, that if you were sick, it's because you were a sinner? It's because you didn't have enough faith? So this kind of makes her look even worse, I believe. Anyway, she said that she got out of balance. You should see her Twitter page where people, like when she first said this, I mean, she was congratulated. People actually said it takes a big person to apologize and see the light. Friends, that really wasn't an apology. And the prosperity gospel, the idea that God wants us to be healthy and wealthy. If Joyce, now, this video said nothing about the little gods heresy that Joyce supported. This video said nothing about her renouncing the idea that Jesus had to go to hell and be tormented and being born again. Now, when Joyce said that she's not a sinner, this video said nothing about that. So there are heresies out there that she has supported that I have yet to see anything written by Joyce publicly or said that counters that. This video doesn't counter all that. All she says is, my faith got out of balance and my prosperity got out of balance. And then she goes about, you know, people, just because you're sick doesn't mean you lack faith. Do you see how this isn't a real apology? But, friends, if Joyce Meyer truly doesn't believe in the prosperity gospel anymore, if she truly doesn't believe in the health and wealth gospel, if she believes that she was wrong for supporting it, then why are her books that she wrote that have the prosperity gospel in them, why are they still for sale on bookshelves? Why hasn't she demanded that they be pulled? Why does Joyce Meyer, I mean, I'm not her accountant, I'm not the IRS, but it appears from an outsider that she's still profiting off the prosperity gospel teaching. That's not an apology. So, please don't tell people that Joyce Meyer apologized. She didn't apologize. Saying you had something out of balance, that's not an apology. So, I wanted to clear that up. I think people need to know the truth. And friends, if I'm in error, if I have something wrong, if I said something wrong, please point me to a public speech or a public document that Joyce Meyer wrote, and I will gladly publicly apologize to Joyce Meyer for getting it wrong. I would do that. I want to know the truth. Jesus said the truth will set us free. I don't want to say negative things about Joyce Meyer if they're wrong. I will apologize. I'm trying to warn people from listening to false teachers. And it appears very strongly that Joyce Meyer is a false teacher. If she's not, and I have videos where I named the heresy that the heresies that she's, and I named them. If you go back in this video, I've named them. I'm not going to name them anymore. Well, but for instance, I'll name one. If you can tell me that she was wrong about the little gods doctrine, about Christians being little gods, that she was wrong and she shouldn't have said that, please show it to me. Friends, there's one last point I want to raise. A true preacher, someone that is in the Word, they don't make this kind of error. They don't make these kind of errors. She is making these errors. Joyce Meyer needs to be in the pews listening to preachers, getting developed in her faith. Instead, she just goes and she has, let's say that she was wrong about prosperity, and this was, well, she is wrong, but let's say that this was supposed to be a full apology, and let's say that she doesn't profit off it anymore, that she really, truly did apologize for it. Friends, that's a major doctrine to be wrong about. That's not something that just the next day you change your mind and then you go back to preaching something opposite. No, that's something that you go to someone else's church and you build back in the Spirit and you become mature. But she just kept on preaching, even though she's been exposed. She's a feel-good preacher. She makes you feel good listening to her. She relates well to people, and she makes the Bible relate to you. And I think sometimes she makes people think that the Bible's about them when it's about God. But that's a different video. Anyway, this video was already longer than I wanted it to be. Anyway, God bless you, friends. Thank you.